Good morning, students. Today I'm going to revise mensurations and I'll be revising all the formulae with you today, okay? Based on exercise 18.1. So, first of all, in your book they have started with area of a, you all know the concept of area and perimeter. You all have studied from class 5, 4, 5 have studied. What do you mean by area? Area is the surface covered, and area we find of a two-dimensional figure. Okay, area and perimeter is also it is the length of the boundary. Yes, if we are asked to find out, if they ask you to find out how much fence is required, you'll calculate the perimeter. But if you need to floor a room, you need to cover the floor of the room with tiles, or you need to whitewash the walls of the room, then the concept of area comes into play. Okay, so see children, first of all, it is given in your book that area of triangle. Yes, this is a triangle. You all have studied triangles. Yes, triangle has a base, it has a height, and area is half into base into height. You must be wondering why area of a triangle is half into base into height. Yes, the teacher is saying, and you need to say, okay, my area is half into base. No, don't accept anything like this. Now see here. I am going to start with this rectangle here. Yeah, this is a rectangle. You all know the properties of a rectangle. A, B, C, D is a rectangle. Yes, I hope you all know the naming. Either clockwise, we start from one vertex, and either clockwise or anti-clockwise. We will never name it as A, B, C, D. We'll always name it as A, B, C, D. From wherever we are starting, we'll either go anti-clockwise and name or clockwise and name it. Okay. Coming to this, that a rectangle is, this is the length and this is the breadth. Yeah, the length is going up to this B times. Yeah, like you are sitting in a class, these many children are sitting in the first row, and there are 5 rows. Suppose there are 7 students sitting in the first row and there are 5 rows. So how do you calculate the number of children sitting in the class? 7 multiplied by 5, that is 35. Yeah. Same concept is here. Why length into breadth? Because this L length is going up to B breadth. Yeah, it is going till here. From here it has started and it goes L goes to B breadth. So that is why we say, since as we have calculated the number of children in the class is number of children sitting in each row multiplied by the number of rows. Yeah. So same way the area of rectangle is length multiplied by breadth. I hope the concept is clear. So area of rectangle is length into breadth. And perimeter is the boundary. If you take rounds of this rectangular field, yes, 5 rounds. Or first let us take 1 round of this. How much distance will you cover? You know that this is L. So this is also L. This is B. So this is also B. So you will cover L plus B plus L plus B, or you need to put a fence around it. So what is the length of the fence needed? Then you will 2 times length plus 2 times breadth. So the perimeter becomes, perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times length plus breadth. Okay, now I will teach you area of a rectangle. How? Now if I make a diagonal, yes, if I join this AC, yeah, so rectangle is divided into 2 triangles. Yes, and this is the base of the triangle and this is the height of the triangle. So if the area of the whole triangle is base, now I am talking in terms of base and height. Yeah. Now this length becomes the base of the triangle and the height, breadth becomes the height of the triangle. So I can say that area of rectangle was L into B, or we can say base into height. Yes, this base is going till here H, or we can say if I am dividing the rectangle into 2 equal triangles. These are 2 equal triangles. Yes, if you fold it, you will see that the triangles are equal in area. So that means the area of this triangle will be half of L into B, you can say. But here length can also be called as base of the triangle, and breadth can be called the height of the triangle. Okay, so we will not start with area of triangle as half into base into height. We will start with area of a rectangle, which is length into breadth. Length, now we are dividing the rectangle into 2 equal triangles. Yes, two triangles of equal area. So the area of this triangle is half into LB and half LB you can say, or half BH if we call length as the base of the triangle and breadth as the height of the triangle. You should always remember that height is always perpendicular to the base. Okay. Now same thing comes here. This is a triangle. Yes, you can convert it into some other figure, a four-sided figure, make another triangle. So base into height will be the area of that figure, and the triangle's area is always half multiplied by base multiplied by height. Clear? Why half base into height? I hope you've got the concept, because a triangle, when we add one more equal triangle, it can take a four-sided figure, which is maybe a rectangle, maybe a square, maybe a parallelogram. Yes, we'll come to parallelograms later. So I hope this is clear. Rectangle L into B, area of triangle half into base into height. Perimeter of a triangle will be half A plus B plus C. That means sum of all sides. Sum of all sides, the outer boundary. Yes, if it is a triangular field, it's the outer boundary. Clear? A plus B plus C. Now, square is a special case of a rectangle where it has all the properties of a rectangle, but only that all sides of a square become equal. So, we can call it length into breadth, or we can call it side square. Clear? Area is side into side, which is A square side square. Okay. Now, when we come to the perimeter, perimeter is the length of outer boundary. So, A plus A plus A plus A, that is perimeter is area of a square is A square and perimeter is 4A. Now coming to a parallelogram. You all have studied what parallelograms are. Parallelogram is a four-sided figure where the opposite pairs are parallel and equal. Okay. So, see, if I draw a diagonal of this, I can say this parallelogram is made up of two triangles. One is this, the other is this. Equal triangles. And area of this triangle is half into base into height, as we have studied up. Yes. Area of triangle is half into base into height. I am just naming this parallelogram A, B, C and D. Yes, area of triangle ACD is half into B into H. So, area of triangle ABC will also be half into B into H. Yes, you've studied congruency in class 7th, children, where we say that a parallelogram, the diagonal, is dividing it into two congruent triangles. So, congruent triangles means they overlap, their areas will also be same. They are same in all respects. So, half into B into H plus half into B into H. So, two halves make a full. So, that is why the area of a parallelogram is base into height. Okay. A rectangle is a special kind of a parallelogram. A rectangle is also a parallelogram where we multiply base into height, because this is the base and this is the height. Yes, a square is also a special kind of a parallelogram, base into height. This formula can be applied here. And parallelogram area, why is it base into height? I hope you are, because it is formed of two congruent triangles. The triangle ACD area is half into base into height. So, half into base into height, half into B into H plus half into B into H, that makes it equal to half plus half, means that is base into height. Now, when we come to the parallelogram, the perimeter, see children, you can call this as length and this is breadth, you may call, but a perimeter means the sum of all sides. And we know that the opposite sides are equal, A, so this is also A, this is B, so this is also B. So, we can write it as that perimeter of a parallelogram will be 2A plus B, 2 times the sum of the two sides. Okay. Now, next is children circle. Yeah. Circle was very difficult, and there was a mathematician called Pi. Yes, there was a mathematician whose name was Pi, and what he did, he drew several circles. Yes, how he found the perimeter, how that you all know what pi is, value of pi is 22 by 7. Yes, now today I'll teach you how that value of pi came. Yes, so what happened, that Pi was a mathematician and he wanted to find out this, that this is the center of a circle, this is the radius of a circle, and this is the perimeter, you can say. This is the circumference, outer boundary is perimeter, or we can also call it as, since it is circular in shape, we call it as perimeter or circumference, we say. Circumference in this case. Yes, perimeter can be, circumference is always a curved boundary. Yeah? So since this is a curved boundary, we call it circumference. Now he wanted to find out what is the relation between this radius and this circumference. So what he did, he drew several circles, several circles with different radii. Yes, with different radii, R1, R2, 7, 14, 21. You can also do this experiment. Take radius of 7 centimeters, take of 3.5 centimeters, take another circle of radius 14 centimeters. Yes, and draw three circles. Okay, you can draw 3 circles. Yes, with these, this is the center. Yes, C is the center, and radius 7, 3.5 and 14 centimeter. And now what he did is he took a thick inelastic, which is not elastic, which doesn't have elasticity, a thread, and he just stuck this thread over here on the outer one, because it's not easy, because you cannot measure it with a ruler directly. Can you measure the length? In case of a rectangle, okay, you can measure with a ruler. Okay, this is the length, okay, 5 centimeter, this is 2 centimeter. It's easy to measure with a ruler. But how to measure this curved boundary? So what he did, he took a thick thread and he pasted the thread over the boundary. Yes, and then he took the thread on the ruler. When he measured, he found the perimeter of this, and circumference. And here also in different cases he found C1, C2, C1, C2, C3, 3 circumferences he calculated. And then he found the relation that this circumference, when it was divided by twice the radius, when suppose the circumference of this is something, yes, coming, and when he divided by 2 times radius, it was always coming equal to 22/7. He did the same thing with this circle also, and they were different. Circumference was different, radii was different. So he did C1 upon 2R1, he got 20. Then he did C2 upon 2R2, then again he got 22/7. Then he did C3, yes, circumference of the third circle divided by 2 times radius of the third circle. Again he got this constant. This was called, named after him as, this was called as pi. Yes, this was named after his name as pi, 22/7, or in decimal if we call it, it's an irrational number, we call it 3.14 and something it goes on. So this constant was called pi after his name, and then the formula became circumference is equal to, if you take 2R1 here, 2R here, it was 2R into pi, or you can say it as circumference is equal to 2 pi r. Understood, children, how this formula came? 2 pi r circumference. What is circumference? Circumference is the curved boundary of a circle. And how he calculated, how he was a mathematician pi, and how he came to know the relationship between the circumference and the radius, and thus he derived this formula that circumference is equal to 2 pi r. And you all know that 2 times radius is equal to diameter. Yes, is equal to diameter. So you can also take this as 2r as diameter, and you can call circumference is equal to pi into diameter. Is that clear to all of you? I hope it is clear. Yes, how pi came and how this formula was derived. I am teaching you this derivation so that your concepts are clear. Yes, now next was the concept of area. So how can he find the area of a circular thing? It was very difficult, na? So how do you find the area? How area started? Area starts from square figures. You know, you have a graph paper at home. Yes, you all have a graph paper. Now do one thing. Draw circles of different radius. Similarly, he found the relation between area and radius. What he did is, he drew he took a graph paper, and the same process he did on the graph paper. He drew different radii, the circles of different radii on a graph paper, and he found that, and then he counted the number of squares inside. Yes, to find the area, you need to count it. In a circle, in a graph paper, you will find the number of full squares, number of half squares, and then again he came to the conclusion that area is equal to pi r square. Pi r square, that means he found area of different circles divided by the square of radius. And again it was coming 22 by 7, 20, different radii, different area, drew different circles. Yes, area was different, radius was different, but the relation between this area divided by square of radius was always coming equal to 22 by 7. So he came to, again he made this formula, came that area is equal to pi is 22 by 7 into square of radius. Clear? Yes. Now when it comes to be a semicircle, children, yeah, and there is a semicircle, so area will be half of a circle. This is a semicircle with center C. Yes, area will be half. Area is this, yes, of a circle. So area of a semicircle is half into pi r square. Clear? But when we are asked to find the outer boundary of this semicircle, child, what will you do? Outer boundary of this semicircle? Yes, outer boundary of this semicircle will consist of this circular part, and it will consist of this line segment. Yes, that is 2 times radius and radius. This is the center. 2r will be added to the circle. Now, when it was a full circle, what was the circumference? 2 pi r. But when it is a half circle, that curved length is 2 pi r divided by 2, half of that is pi r, plus, now this length is also included, because when you are putting a fence, when you are finding the perimeter, now we call it a perimeter, because this length was also coming into, yes, this straight line is also being counted. So plus 2r. Clear? So plus 2r, and if you take this r common, or if you don't take, then also not a problem. So circumference of a semicircle was, don't learn this formula, learn the concepts, children. It is half the perimeter circumference of the full plus 2 times radius. Okay? Yes. Now let's take quarter of a circle. If I take quarter of a circle, child, quarter means this curved length becomes 1/4. Yes. And plus r. Yes, this is a quadrant or quarter of a circle. When the circle is divided into 4 equal parts, then if I take this piece and if I am asked to find the area of this quadrant, so area will become 1/4 the area of the circle, 1/4 pi r square. Yes, but what will you say about the circumference or the perimeter? We call it perimeter now. Perimeter of this quadrant will consist of this circular part, circumference, that is 1/4 of, because it is divided into 4 equal parts, 2 pi r plus 2r. I hope this is clear. I hope you are getting it. So 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. So I think so you can derive this. It is clear to all of you. Now coming to a circular ring. Now when it is a circular ring, yeah, ring means 2 concentric circles. Concentric, the meaning of concentric is circles whose center is same, but suppose the radius of this is 3 centimeter and radius of the outer circle is 5 centimeters. Suppose, yes, we call it small r, depicted by small r and capital R. So what is the area of this portion? Area of this ring? Yes, area of this ring will be equal to what? Yes, it is equal to, yes, tell me, area of the outer circle, bigger circle, and if from that, if I subtract the area of the smaller circle, I get the area of this shaded part, that is the ring. Yes, so area of ring is equal to pi r square is the area of outer circle. Yes, bigger circle minus pi, small r square is the area of inner circle. If I take this pi common, I get r square minus r square. And the more appropriate way, when we have bigger number radius, we can also write it as pi a square minus b square is r plus small r. That is an easier way to calculate, children. You should use the special product property here, identity here. Clear? So area of ring is pi r square minus pi area of bigger circle minus area of inner circle, smaller circle, and if we take that pi out, r square minus r square. Okay? Thank you.